Done our dough, chaps. We've done our dough.
Hello, and welcome to another late night edition of Odds. So week 32 coming up here. So recapping last week with our good friend 10K Clay on the couch. So for me, it was a welcome return to the winner's circle, all spearheaded by one long day. That was a really good, powerful win down the Flemington straight. And it was interesting that we did the Quinella trifecta with the same numbers and it all panned out perfectly. La Fracas was strong. Nana's Wish came through at the last minute and held on to third. So it was a great win, dividend on one long day, paid about 14 in the end. We got it at 13s. And then Quinella and trifecta, so about 40 back on the trifecta, around about 20 back, about 15, 20 back on the Quinella, too, which was great. The early races were a wipeout for me, no returns. But then later, Far Flung just held on for second in the race that Sportsbet was doing the promotion on Run First or Second, get paid as a winner. So that ended up being $13 back there. So it ended up being a huge $106 back because there was also the scratching, the whole washout of the Magic Millions meeting. So it was 106 back for the 50. It's a while since we've more than doubled our money, so that was great. The downside was the lack of effort the lack of acumen I had with the sports bet. $20 on the Big Bash multi and only got one leg. Stanley got one wicket. Constance did not get 10 runs. And our other batter, who we needed for a 6, didn't actually get to bat. So this is a good point for anyone who's doing sports betting. In that scenario where McDermott didn't actually get to bat, that's counted not like as a void leg, but actually as a missed leg because he was there and he just didn't get the the team didn't get to him. It wasn't like in the soccer where someone just sub and they don't start and it's avoided. So we actually missed 2 out of the 3 legs and therefore didn't even get a bonus bet back. So something to keep in mind for the future. So a bit of a blow there to not even get any bonus bets out of that, just to take the hard $20 loss. So anyway, $56 back on the racing. That's the great news, and then $20 loss on the sport brings us up overall. We're back to an 11% return. I'm glad to be out of that 7 to 9% danger zone. That was no fun, and we'll hopefully try and stay out of it altogether. But we've really been yo-yoing, and we're still being the ASX 200 over this point in time. So yes, week 31 behind us, onto week 32. So just recapping, 11% profit overall. Great race results. Now 10K Clay, he's $20 on Stormy Grove. He got a bonus bet back from because that was a right at place. It was actually a good run. Just the tempo in the end did not suit at all. Zorro's Flight got a fantastic run up on the speed. And Stormy Grove was sort of the victor of circumstances a bit. The run was quite good. I'll still be backing that horse in the future, given the right circumstances next time. So a bonus bet there. New York Gloucester was great. So that was a win bet. Got back a little bit less than the even money because there was a few deductions. So got back 35 there. The $10 parlay did no good. So overall it was a $35.60 return out of the 50. That's respectable. And then the sports bet, the margin didn't come off on the spreads, so missed that one, and we didn't get 2 out of 3. He didn't get 2 out of 3, I should say, to get the bonus bet. So he'll go into his next betting week with the $20 bonus bet for Stormy Grove and $35 in cash. So getting on to this week, we're going to look at the Magic Millions on Friday. The meeting's been sort of salvaged, intact. The Magic Millions 2-year-old race itself is now race 2. It's not the same race number as last time. And then we'll have a little bit of a look at Melbourne on Saturday. That's only really an afterthought for me. I've just done a few bets there based on not the greatest form analysis. Just a bit of like horses that I know, horses I like. It's just to sort of fill a gap because the bulk of the money is at the Gold Coast. And then a little bit at Randwick because of the promotion there. On the January Cup, if you run first or second, you get paid as a winner. So let's get right into it, starting with the Gold Coast. Race 1 is the Magic Millions Sub-Zero, 2,200 metres. Favourites Belvedere, boys. It's going to get back. It did win with authority last time. That's good. It'll get back from here, barrier 11. Skylab's a bit of a battler. Lock Eagle is should be considered at $9 because it's coming down a lot in class. It does have to carry more weight, but it's one of the only really seasoned group performers in the race. I really love that when these sort of tough horses come down and go up against the sort of horses coming out of that either quality or like the 78, 85 grade. And then the one I really want to be on is Tannhauser, semi-lightly raced, hasn't got a great record, like 17 starts, 2 wins, 3 placings, but I feel like it's a stayer on the up. It's at a done deal. The previous preps were good. It even got up to 2,000 metres at Doomben in a Group 3 running against Autumn Angel, beat Autumn Angel by a length going back to the middle of 2024. So had a sort of an aborted prep in September. It's had a few runs now. I just feel like getting out to the 2,200, it could be ready to improve, and it's at $11. So Tannhauser each way. Nothing else really appeals to me. They're sort of the usual Gold Coast battling brigade, more or less. So I'll on Tannhauser each way. I'll have Lock Eagle each way. I'll do a Quinella for Lock Eagle, number 1, Belvedere Boys, number 5, Tannhauser, number 6, in a Quinella, keeping it simple, kicking things off. For race 1, it goes straight up, dials straight up to the top levels with the Magic Millions 2-year-old. So I'm going to keep exactly the same bets as last week. I know that it's not really a heavy track anymore, but these horses are so lightly raced that I'm just going to stick with what I liked. I'm not going to change anything and be the victim of like, oh, well, I wish I hadn't. So that will be the same. Still very keen to see how quietly Arrogant runs. I feel like if it was barrier 6, that'd be sort of like the $11 mark. A lot of great names there. Secret Sort, Lotta Flutter. Yeah, very excited to see that all play out. Race 3 is the Magic Millions Snippets over 1,200 metres. Samana is the favourite, sort of predictably. Like it often does start favourite when it's maybe dropping back in grade. I know it's won 7 out of 22, but for some reason I think the $3.80 isn't the greatest value. The Gold Coast can be funny. It's not a track I really love to jump on. First up favourites that, the last 3 runs are coming off in 4th, 5th and over 10th. I'm going to have something each way on Zarastro. Number 1, I feel like it could be a little bit of a Gold Coast horse. Barrier 6, perfectly drawn. I'll still put Samana at a Quinella. Number 6, hard to say, really wants a rock hard dry track. It may get it if the track dries up. It may not. Hedged is one that really stands out. 13 starts, 4 wins. I think that's going to, from that draw, it's going to get a great run up on the speed. And I'd probably rather be on that than Samana. I can just see it maybe getting an easier run, potentially. So each way on Hedge, number 8. Each way on Zarastro, number 1. And then a Quinella for 1, 5, 8. And we'll throw in the 7, Prince of Boom. Generally like the Boom horses at a Spirit of Boom. 3 starts here for 2 wins. So that will be the Quinella. Cannonball's an interesting one, just as a side note. Last time it sort of was 3 wide, but it was 2 layers back, and so it had a lot of cover, and it just sort of chugged into the race and just kept chugging and just plodding away, and got there. It just sort of stayed in that acceleration. So I'm keen to see how that goes. Yep, that's race 3. Race 4, big field, lots of good horses. Lots of value too. I mean, the favourites are Moravia and Charmstone, 5 and 6. Moravia, and this is at $6.50 each of them. Moravia doesn't win very often. Charmstone, you can say the same. It does race in better grade. You can get some of the horses to run behind lately. Kamachi, Group 1 winner. Mahaba, great win here, and then went to Perth. Aviatrix. I just feel like I'd like to be on that, and the $6.50 isn't too much of a worry. Arts Object is a horse that often bobs up usually at odds. Good winner place record. I like that for the Quinella. And Weagle Tiger, number 20. Interesting. It's going to try and probably go forward from barrier 19, where it's been on fire this prep. Held on for second really well last start, and they streamed the rest of the field. So that's probably going to burn a bit of petrol to come across, but I'd like to put it in the Quinella. Adriel's huge value at 80s. 14 starts at 4 wins and 5 placings, consistently winning throughout its preps. I just wouldn't, if that bobbed up in a Quinella here, for big odds, I really want to be on it. And number 2, Abounding. Just a great win and place record, 5 wins, 8 placings out of the 18 starts, solid listed grade performer. That'll round it out. So 5 losses in the Quinella, 2, 6, 13, 20, 21. I just want to say these are all open races. Like, you can make cases for Orton, for Chrysaor, for so many. So basically, yeah, it's I wouldn't invest a lot, but it's a really cool race. Lots of opportunities. I do Charmstone each way. I just think that this is a really good race. They've placed it in very, very winnable. It does look a little bit class above, in my humble opinion. That's race 4, the Magic Millions Cup. Race 5, the 3-year-old Guineas. This is crazy. This is wild. There's so many chances, so many horses coming up winning form. Jewelleries was cool last time in sort of like restricted grade. Just bulked into the clear, and then needed to get that run, put them away. Barrier 20 is tough. It had so much in hand last time. The hard thing is to line it up against like a Stitzenova, who's been running, already in Group 2, Group 3. I'd rather be on Stitzenova, even though it just fell in last time against Bitter Creek. Be running in better grade. I just think the 750 is great value. Tuileries, anything could happen from Barrier 20. It really could. So I'd have something on Stitzenova, but I'd have a little bit of a, whatever you have on Stitzenova, I'd have a little bit more on Bitter Creek. I think that the Gold Coast track could suit it, because it had that good win at Moonee Valley where it was back and it accelerated clearing the turn and coming off the speed. The Gold Coast track's a bit like that. It's tight, and I actually thought Bitter Creek would be a good Flemington horse, and I was really keen on it when it ran in that Komochi Group 1 race, and it didn't really do as well as I thought, but the Gold Coast could suit it. From 14, it could go back, get some cover, and unleash down the straight. So each one on Bitter Creek, and then a little something on Stitzenova, and then place on Zoo Baby. That's one that's been very consistent. I really like horses when they lose, it's just not by much. So like in for example, in this case, it's run 4th by 1.2 lengths, it's 1 by a length and a bit. 5th to Amalita at Flemington by 1.4 lengths, 2nd Moonee Valley. Like those ones that are always just so close up, I really rate. It's got a great barrier. That stood out. So Quinella for 1, Bitter Creek, 2, Give Me Space. It's done nothing wrong. Barrier 19 is not appealing, but yeah, great form, great name. 1, 2, 5, Depth of Character. It's just crazy odds. This is a horse that has 6 starts with 2 wins in a place in. Like, I know it's a bit out of form, but often you get crazy stuff happening on the Magic Millions meeting. So 1, 2, 5, 6 on 15. It was really tough to leave out Cosmic Fire. I backed that lately. I really like it. I just think it could be a bit out of its depth. And similar for Street Chase, hard to leave it out, but I'll stick with those numbers. That's race 5. Race 6, 1,300 metres. I skipped this. This was just too open. Had to make those decisions. And then the last race, Skirt the Law, I backed because I backed it before, and I think it could be a bit of a Gold Coast horse. I like Terry Golan sprinters, Craig Williams on board. Yellow Brick, first up records impeccable. First 7 starts, 3 wins and 4 placings, paying 480. I really don't know what else is going to run well, so I'll take like a trifecta with those 2, 1 and 12 roving bankers, and then just everything else to rove. Like, let's see if we can get something at long odds like Jiminel falling in there, but I think they'll both run well. That's the Gold Coast. Then on to the one race at Rose Hill, race 7, the January Cup on Saturday. This one's interesting. It's a small field. Osipenko's coming off that good second last time. Same distance, lost a tardy time there. James McDonald on board, it's a deserving favourite. Converge wants to get back. Should be easier to do in this small field, but it has got barrier 3. Salt Coat's coming off 88 grade. Aquarius was, it did motor very late last time, and it gets a bit of extra distance here. Redbreast, look, it sort of battled a bit last time. So I think what I'm trying to say is it's a tough race. I'm going to take Hopeful number 4, in case it recaptures a bit of that form that it had from a few preps back, where it was sort of running second in those listed races behind Elias at Randwick, which just, bodes super well for this. It's been out of form lately. Last time it was lost by 2 lengths. It's not too bad. Bullets High does look like a good horse. I just think that that's a bit of value, like from a proven performer in a small field where it's I'd rather be on that at 16 than Soul Codes at 360. I just think there's too much value there. So something on hopeful, and then getting quickly into Flemington. Race 1. This one's tough. In hindsight, Wings of Song, the form was better than I realised. It was crazy that it went around at those $26 last time. So I'm ruining that one, that missed opportunity there. Marble Arch has been consistent. Positivity is probably more of a Caulfield horse. Watermech, what a grand old campaigner. Loves Flemington. 9 starts here, 3 wins, 3 placings. Sort of on the comeback trail a little bit, like lost by 2 lengths last time, but 10th first up. You could easily take it. This is such a little tricky opening race. Molly Nickers was good last time winning at Geelong, but is it going to suddenly win at Flemington? It's hard to know. I just really would. I ended up with Marble Arch just because it's had these runs in. It's sort of 5 runs into a prep. It's really ready for the 1600 to run it strongly. It's got a 2 kilo claim. That sort of decided in the end. Positivity is good value, but again, more of a Caulfield horse. Moonrake's going to have to be, I prefer it in a bigger field. I think it's going to be quite exposed with 61 in a small field like this. Molly Nickers, I'd rather in a bigger field too, to sort of hide at the back and then run on. Be interested how Wings of Song goes. But yeah, I'll stick with Marble Arch in race 1. Race 2, this was a lot of first starters here. I'm just going to stick with Hot Whiskers. Had a good win at Mornington on the speed. I'm really just at Flemington just spending the last of my pennies. So I won't even pretend I've got a lot of ideas here. That's just in race 2. Race 3, again, a lot of horses with only a few runs. What I would say is that Zorro's Flight, as mentioned earlier, got all the benefits in the Stormy Grove race, and I don't think it will get them again. Centennial Park, it's had a few good wins. I'd rather be on Sign Deal number 4. You could take Centennial Park at the $3.40 coming off that 70 grade at Caulfield Heath. Didn't win by a lot. Sigiriya Rock wasn't amazing last time. Sign Deal looks progressive up to the 1600. I liked it. It's around second at Flemington last time behind Zappo. That was when Zappo ran really well. I'd rather be on Sign Deal. Race 3. Race 4. Samangu maybe looks a little bit tired last time. I don't really want to take the 215 with that in mind. I'm just going to check. I don't think it's run down the straight before. No, it hasn't. That's another thing. I'm going to take Shame. Proven performer, likes the track, been exposed to group races first up. I think the 950, there's tremendous value to have a throw at the stumps. That's race 4. Race 5. I'm just going to take Enna's Dream simply because I liked it last time and it was scratched. So I'll just jump on board there. Open race, like Layer Upon Layer was good last time at Moonee Valley at that night meet. Sorry, not at Moonee Valley, no, at Flemington. In that last race where it beat Booney. Might not be the same result here. Yeah, links I've backed in the past. Tireless, it's been so consistent. It's just a tricky race. Small bet, move on. That's the plan. And then race 6, sort of similar deal. Major Share's been good in the last 2, but Veloce Caro was an old favourite. It's first up here. The record's good. Likes the track, likes the distance. Say no more. $7. Bada bing, bada boom. So, rapid fire. A very short episode. That's all the racing done. Sports, there's not too many promos, but they are doing a Australian Open one. Multi for 3 legs, and you miss the leg, get both sets back. So I'm just going to do a 4-leg multi. Tommy Paul in his match. Yuri Lehechka in his match. Lehechka's about $1.29. Paul's about $1.13. Coco Gauff against Fernandez. I went and saw Fernandez on Sunday. She was really good, really defensive, really tough. I just think Gauff will be too much for her. And then Davidovich Fokina just to not to win, but just to win a set or more. And that gets me about $2.13 odds. So $20 on that. And hopefully we only miss one leg. We can get bonus bets back. Huge weekend. The tennis is still on as we speak. Medvedev's in this battle with Lona Tien. Magic Millions Friday is very, very appealing to kickstart the weekend. Flemington betting is actually not too bad. I thought it would be just like a nondescript meeting. It's actually like quite a good betting day. So with that said, have a great week. have some bets at the Magic Millions. It's always an exciting day. Look for big results. There's often some blowouts. Often favourites go under. Don't pay too much attention to the big names. Anything, maybe in the main race, the favourites do tend to win, but in the other races, it's sort of a bit of a lottery. So try and jag some sort of Canelo or trifecta and win big. Bring the big bucks in from the Gold Coast. So yeah, have fun, and we'll see you next week.
And then came quickly as I was they turned for home. Jefferson, he's been in front every inch of the way. He's out wide too.